Hello and welcome. I'm Carol DeChaine. I'm an intuitive, a transformational life and business coach, and an energy multidimensional light worker. This month, I'm talking about money and prosperity, not only from the reality, this is the way it is, and tools to move you forward, but also the spiritual connection, the mindset connection. Maybe things that hopefully you haven't heard before, or at least that it's a good time for you to hear. And today, the last of the four-part series, is about saving for a rainy day. So many times we don't save. We don't carry the money we have, we spend as soon as we get it. And maybe we do save it. We save it for something specific, or we save for what we call a rainy day. When something comes up it's good to have money so that if the heater goes out, like my furnace recently died, had to have it replaced, that was a chunk of the budget. So it was more money than you normally have saved for that sort of thing. You might save for vacations, for gifts, for cars coming up, for down payment for a house, for your children's education, as well as saving for that thousand or two just in case something goes wrong. Let me put it this way. Saving for a rainy day, it's important and bad all at the same time. Because you're saving, how many times if you have that mindset of saving for a rainy day, did something come up, as soon as you had enough money, it came up. And you go, I didn't really want to spend that money. I thought maybe I'd save it for something more. Save it for the house or the car coming up. But in my mind, I'm saving it for a rainy day, which means that the rainy day shows up because we get what we ask for. If you're saving for a rainy day and that's what's in your mind, just know that very likely, and if you look back, you may see this happens to you most of the time, that rainy day shows up. And it's probably for pretty close to exactly what you saved. It's 1,000 or two or three. The furnace was, I think, 4 this time. Could have been 5 if I gotten the nicer one. So you look at it and you go, okay, every time I save, the car dies, somebody's sick, I have dental work that needs to be done, and all that rainy day money leaves. Oh, well, now what happens? Try and think about it. Instead of saving for a rainy day for when something goes wrong, think of it as saving for something else. Save for retirement, which may be years away for you. But that's good. That may you're saving it for a long period of time. Save it for the vacation you want to do. Save it for, and don't even think about negative things happening. Knowing that you always should have 2 to 3 months of money laying aside somewhere. They say 6 months, but I mean at least 2 to 3 extra thousands of whatever it is in case something happens. But don't even think about the rainy day. Don't think about the negative part of it because that's going to start skewing where you're spending your money. I know I had someone that I had talked to. She said that she didn't save any money whatsoever. She was always in debt. And she started rethinking that she would have more than enough money to pay her debts. Well, she started having more money and she started being able to pay her debts. And she was so excited. And then she got a bonus. And the bonus was like, woohoo, this is great. And then the car broke down. And she needed, you guessed it, exactly the amount of money, minus a few bucks, I think, to pay for the car repair that came in her bonus. That happened 2 years in a row where she was paying all her debts, no savings, because her mindset was such that she wanted to have enough to pay off her debts. When she got the second bonus, and it happened again, I think it was a dental that second time, she said that she finally got it, that I'm thinking the wrong way. Instead of thinking, I can barely pay off my debts, I have more than enough money to pay off my debts, she just said, I have enough money to pay off my debts. So I worked with her on changing her affirmation. Went from, I have enough money to pay off my debts. Then she was willing to go to, I have more than enough money to pay off my debts. So she had a little left over. Finally, she got to the point of leaving the word debt out and said, I have how did she put it? I have an overflowing amount of money in my bank for everything I need. And she said, oh my God, I never thought I deserved it. I didn't realize why I wouldn't go there when you first started working with me. And it was because she had this mindset that she could only have so much, that rainy day was always going to come, and that when she had the extra money, the rainy day would come every single time. And she said she looked back over her life and it happened again and again. When she finally got it, she shifted her mindset. She changed an affirmation she was working on that she was sort of living the other affirmation, and she shifted. She says, nope, I have, I forget exactly what I just said. She had more than enough in her bank account to pay for everything she ever wanted or needed. It was something like that. And it included vacations. It included those rainy days, which she didn't think about specifically anymore. But it included kids' college. It included everything. And she said her bank account started getting more and more and more. And she had never seen it that big before. All of a sudden, it was huge. And she went, what? It's just my mindset. She says, I don't remember doing anything different than that. Mindset is huge. This whole series that I've worked on for this money and this prosperity month, the whole point is look at where you're at. What is my current reality with finances? Not what I wish, not what I, nothing. Just look at the current reality with no judgment. Where am I at? What do I want? What do I want it to be at? If they look totally different, then realize that whatever your belief structure is that led you to where you are is why you're where you're at. So look at why you think you're where you are. Write it all down. Why am I here? What happened? Oh, my parents spent all their money. I didn't inherit anything, so I didn't get anything from that. This happened. That happened. We've never had money in the family. I don't, my job, well, I got a layoff and I had to pay some money out for bills, so I don't have that pulled money away. My car broke down. I mean, whatever it was, the situation, the people, the whatever it was, just look at what happened. I write it all down. Why am I where I'm at now? Why is my reality the same as it's always been? Have I ever saved from that rainy day? Have I always been in debt? Where am I now and why am I here? What reality in my head came up to make it be? This is my current financial situation. Then when you see that, don't judge it. Don't beat yourself up. Don't play the victim and blame somebody else. Just look at it and say, okay, now, have I been able to save? No, or yes. How has that gone? I have a bit. I've always had a bit extra. Great. Do I want more? Yes, I want more. I want to be able to do more with my money. If everything was great, what would I want? I want to not just save for the rainy day. I want to have more. I want to be able to have enough to go on a vacation once a year for maybe a $10,000 vacation, or maybe it's a $5,000 vacation. Also depends on how many people you're paying for. Maybe you know that you have kids that are going to go to college and you need to start saving. What is it that you want your financial picture to look like? Be clear. Know where it's at, know how you got there, know what you want in the future, and then don't freak out about the difference between where you are and where you want to be. Saving is huge when it comes to wanting what you want in the future. But shifting your mindset, the littlest thing can make everything change. It can make money show up at your doorstep. I used to have money coming from when I changed an affirmation in my mindset about something where money could only come from my current job, which was my dad's belief. I think my mom's was a little better than that, but that was his belief. And so I had a day job. That's where all my money came from. And I finally went, it can come from other sources. So I started doing crafting. Money came in there. It was minimal, but there was that. I started taking on some of our clients privately because for handling QuickBooks and stuff for them, because my bosses didn't want me doing it during work hours and they were okay with it. And the clients were happy. So, I mean, I started getting money coming in from different places. And it was like, whoa, well, this is weird. And of course, it was unexpected. You have to keep track of it for tax sake and all that. But at least you're looking at it going, wow, money is not just from my job. It's like I used to have checks, which is what everybody used, coming in my mailbox all the time. It was a shock. I had people coming to my door wanting to buy crafts. And I've never done a huge amount in that area, but it was more than I ever had before, but it kept coming. So know that your financial picture does not have to be locked in place. You can save, you can check your spending, you can do all sorts of things to get there. But connecting to source, connecting to your highest good and saying, I need help, I'm asking for help, Show me the way to get out of this current situation. You're going to get an answer. It may not be in the prayer or the meditation, and it probably won't be. I'm telling you right now, most of the time people think that prayer and meditation, when it doesn't work, is because they don't get an answer that moment. You're not going to get an answer that moment all the time. Just be aware that you have to stay open to your answers after you're done. Because after you're done, you might hear a Suze Orman, or there's another lady that's really good, that you might hear one of these people say something. A friend might say something that will help with your finances. Maybe somebody will offer you a part-time job and you're going, how did you know I wanted to get out of debt? How did you know I wanted to save for my kids' education? Maybe your kid will get a job when they're 15, like my girlfriends did. All of a sudden, out of the blue, offered a job, just turned 15, which most don't do that. He's been great at saving ever since. So when you look at these different things that are happening in your life, just know, don't blame yourself. Don't worry about where you've been. Just look at it from a non-judgmental place, loving yourself and going, look at what I've been doing and how I can shift, I can change, I can do whatever I need to do to make this reality different. You have the power, you have the choice, but you need to make it. You need to decide what you want. Be aware, because you deserve more than what you think you do. You just have to get on board with all of that. Thank you for joining me here today and on my Prosperity and Money Month on YouTube. If you like what you hear, by all means, please do subscribe to the channel and click on the bell notification. At this point, I am putting out once a week the Joy Corner, which is the I Am affirmation for the week, as well as one other video. Most of the time, just one other video. But you can also, and please do, follow me on Instagram. I am brand new there under Connect to Joy. That's Connect, the number 2, Joy. And also my website is connecttojoy.com, where you'll find information on coaching and speaking. And my podcast is also there, which is called Living Your Limitless Life. If you listen there and you like what you hear and you think you might want to be a guest, please connect with me. And you can find that connection through my website. Until next week, by all means, please, please know that you are already enough to have that joyful, limitless life that you desire.